Hello, loves. How are you? So many of you may have seen that I posted a Patreon video yesterday. I shared it in the post here on YouTube around the Divine Masculine Collective, feeling exhausted and going through quite a bit of sadness. And I wanted to talk about it here a bit today because it's something that many of you, feminine or masculine, may be feeling in different layers. And what I mean by that is some of you have already gone through those deeper dark night of the souls and you're balancing and harmonizing your energies and emotions pretty stably, but you may feel these things coming up as the masculines are going through it. But remember, this is collective energies. So it's not just those in these counterpart twin flame soul initiation energies, the love initiation energies. So these are very deeply collective planetary energies. And we talk here about them through the lens of these masculine and feminine energies. One, because the foundations of our planet is built on the principles of masculine and feminine coming together in co-creation, along with the sacred elements of the foundation of what our planet is made of: fire, air, fire, water, and earth, of course, what our physical bodies are made of. And then all of the other things that you have in between. And in my Patreon yesterday, I went into some of the planetary work that I've been guided to support, and knowing that so many of you are called to different places and spaces to share your presence there, and that we're all working together collectively in our own unique ways to support the overall evolution and ascension. So if you want to tap into that, you're welcome to. I'll drop it in the pinned comment. I'm open to sharing here. I'm just going to see what is in the highest alignment. But I want to really kind of dive into some messages to support both the feminines and masculines, because we are headed into the solstice, the end of the year, and moving into a new year. And it does feel like quite a bit is surfacing to be cleared out before we move into the new year. That's just the sense that I'm picking up on in the energies. Let me know what you guys have been experiencing for yourself in the comments if you feel guided. But when I was talking about the masculines and the energy that came through very strong, I was actually traveling last week. And as I returned home, I could feel on my way back, I felt quite a bit of frustration and anger, and thought some of it was just the traveling process. I was in being around so many people. But as I landed back home, that was still sort of present. And as I like grounded back in, I was really aware of a deep sadness. And that was what I talked about yesterday. And so many people, both on YouTube and Patreon, confirmed that they had been experiencing and feeling similar energies. So that is why we have some weeks where the messages are very like about sacred union and sustaining it and all the beautiful things that are embodying. And then we have days or weeks where we're talking about the heaviness or the emotions or the things that are being worked on, sort of the shadow works or the distortions that are being unraveled. And this actually all signifies progress, because it's through those ebbs and flows that we're growing, that we're building muscle, that we're embodying. And so it's a testament to how much we have embodied and how much more stable we are, that we can sort of experience these processes without it really getting us too off kilter or unstable. Okay. And so those are sort of big signs that we're progressing. Okay. And it's really what I sense in the energies is that, yes, we're sort of going through these roller coaster energies, but that is the evolution and the ascension. And the more stable and harmonized and the quicker we can move into those energies of temperance and neutrality, the more we're realizing how stable we are. It's not a competition, it's not a race, it's simply a testament to your progress. And remember, this is about progress, not perfection. We are all human, all of us, even those of us that show up here on YouTube and share these messages. We're still walking these processes with you in our own ways. And being guided at the same time to come on and share these things. And so just remembering that we're all in this together. All right. So, okay, now I feel guided to go into some of the cards. I'm just gonna see, I'm kind of sensing that the masculines do want to share some information. Winter dream gestation period. As here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are heading into winter in just a few days, although some days the weather already feels like we're in winter, at least up here in the north. But this to me, before I even pulled the card, I was sensing where it felt important to touch in on the messages from yesterday around the part where the masculines came forward in the energy of the sadness, of being aware that they're not satisfied because they're not actually where they truly intended to be at a soul level, but that actually this is just an important part of the ascension evolution process. And it's very normal for what we're going through as a planet. And so this sort of gestation period of having one foot in the old world and one foot in the new, and having some of that confusion or misunderstanding energy or uncertainty energy is quite normal and part of the process. So where you, masculine or feminine, may be feeling some of those energies of feeling frustrated, you're not where you intended to be. Remember, it's not a judgment or an expectation. It's simply energy and alignment showing you and inspiring you to free yourself so that you can align with where you're meant to be. It doesn't mean you messed up. It doesn't mean that you did it wrong, although you can learn from the experiences that you had, or if there's things you felt you messed up or were a mistake, you can use those to learn and get to where you want to go. That's why they are there, not for people to stay stuck in that and feeling hard on themselves, but to learn from those things that you wish you did differently. And it feels really important because I've been feeling this for a few weeks now, where there's a part of the collective that as this did feel quite connected with the masculines, like where they held themselves in a specific energy, thinking that they couldn't get what they wanted. But as I meditated with it from the message yesterday, it felt like part of it was actually where the masculine was holding the energies for the connection so the feminines would know what to work on. We've talked about this before. And there was this vision of the feminines actually sharing the results of what she learned with the masculine so he would know what burdens he could release. And then there was actually equally this energy where the feminines had been holding energies for the masculine as well. And there was a big recalibration present, or there will be whenever it's aligned for you, that both feminines and masculines are now free to release what they have completed for themselves, for the connection, and with one another, so that they can actually drop into and see the results of who they are now. And I was shown back to 2020 with the collectives because that's where obviously we had a huge planetary shift towards the ascension process. Not that it didn't happen before that or after, but sort of in that time frame of the past 4 to 5 years, there has been so much growth that many of you probably could look back to the version of who you were in 2020 and feel almost like that version of you is like a stranger. Or I don't know about you, but for me, it's like it was almost like just a fraction. It was like in 2020, I was a shell of myself, so to speak. Um, so there you have it. Mm. So it does feel obviously like the masculines right now through this winter are going through quite a big recalibration process. It feels like a hibernation and preparation, but through this hibernation, it feels like a deeper embodiment of actually what they do deserve and where they want to head and actually believing within themselves that they deserve it. Sort of a dissolving and an unraveling of the obligation energies or the overgiving energies or the running energies, freezing energies. Ooh, the freezing. It's even like I just noticed it looks like some of that is beginning to thaw as those colors are coming in. All right, what else do we got? So three came out. We have Eight of Swords, Six of Wands, Ace of Wands, and the Hermit. This is an interesting energy because it feels like a combo of things that I think probably many of us, masculine and feminine, are going through probably on a pretty consistent basis. There's things that we're not seeing just yet, but then they get revealed and sort of released in a way that allows us to embody more deeper into the truth of who we are. This energy and information is getting embodied and telepathically shared within the connection within our own being, but also from source, the higher self. And there's these moments of hermiting and sort of processing and embodying. This is interesting because I feel like my sense is that in the energies, there's something that isn't being seen. I can feel it. Okay. They're reminding me of something that came through in my morning meditation. That when we talk about there's so much happening in the hermiting phase or the quiet phase in the gestation phase where the masculines are sort of evolving and things are turning on and moving into the victorious energies. And what came through this morning is I was shown that when my brother was born for the first few years, he did not talk very much. But then all of a sudden, he started talking in full-blown sentences and paragraphs. But the whole time he was absorbing, he was learning, he was integrating, he was finding his own unique way of sharing what he was learning. He didn't do it in the typical way or the way everyone thought it should be. But it didn't mean he wasn't learning because clearly he was right on schedule. He just had his own unique way of processing and sharing. And honestly, that feels so relevant to the masculine energy. And also, another thing that came through yesterday is that when the masculines are ready, in whatever timing is aligned for them to be, when they do share and open up, I was shown that they are going to have a whole other perspective and insight around these connections for the feminines. And it's going to be things that the feminines have not seen, not known, not understood, because it's a whole unique perspective. So, where you have felt that they weren't aware or didn't know, they're going to kind of surprise you, startle you, potentially even shock you with how much they actually are aware of, just like my brother speaking in full sentences and paragraphs. Okay. It feels important for the feminines to open up and make space to receive information about things that you don't know. that perhaps you were not meant to know because it wasn't your part to do, but it doesn't mean that you knew everything or had all of the pieces. Okay. You had your pieces, the masculines had theirs, and it's in the coming together and being open to the energetic exchange of information and experience that the bigger picture can start to come online. Okay. So in my travels, there was a lot of land work and work with the trees and messages that came through from the planetary levels. I'm still processing some of it, but I'm going to pray on what is aligned for me to share. I was shown and had this sense that the Atlantis and Lemurian timelines are completing out from those karmic wounded energies quite significantly, or more and more of that is being freed and available for us. I'm sort of contemplating doing like a group slash workshop around that or something of that nature. If you think that that might resonate or feel correct for you, let me know. I know I've talked about it in the past, but I know that there was something that was needed, that was necessary, some information that needed to come in beforehand. And now I am feeling that I have those keys and codes to share if and when it feels aligned. And I'm going to leave it there. There's quite a bit happening, quite a bit going on. I'm sure that I will be on shortly to connect with you soon. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day, a beautiful solstice and holiday season. And again, I'm sure I'll see you soon. So much love. I hope this was helpful and that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care.